past behind, then hold on to love and all we have. I can't see myself with nobody else. You got my heart, girl, it's true. Wrap your heart around mine, let God lead the way, and we'll be back to find. Say that you love me, baby. Say that you love me, baby. Say that you love me, baby. I love you always. Say that you love me, baby. Say that you love me, baby. Say that you love me, baby. I love you always. Look at us now, we've come so far, never looking back. We moving mountains, glorious to see. Yeah, it all falls back to you and me, playing on a sunny day, smiling on a rainy day, with you by my side. This is real. Wrap your heart round mine, let God lead the way, and we'll be back to find. Say that you love me, baby. Say that you love me, baby. Say that you love me, baby. I'll love you always. Say that you love me, baby. Say that you love me, baby. Say that you love me, baby. I'll love you always. If love is the answer, who cares what the question is? I just wanna face my fears and put it all behind me. If love is the answer, who cares what the question is? I just wanna face my fears and put it all behind me. Say that you love me, baby. Say that you love me, baby. And I'll love you always, always, love you always.
On May 8th, vote for Yvanka Hall. Vote for experience and not endorsements. Vote for qualifications and not relationships. Vote for trust and not loyalty, because loyalty is deceiving. On May 8th, vote for Yvanka Hall. Trusted, experienced, and qualified. Vote for Yvanka Hall, Ohio State Representative for District 12.
Vote for Hall. Vote for Hall. Vote for Hall. Vote for Hall.
Paid for by the Friends of Yvanka Hall.
You're listening to Elevations Radio, your station for uplifting lifestyle and wellness talk radio.
Views expressed on shows are those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its management, or other advertisers. Use of these shows and all services provided therein are for personal use only. The Elevations Radio Network holds no responsibility for the validity or accuracy of information on these shows.
Hey fam, welcome to the Let's Be Real show with Greg Bam Reaves here on elevationsradio.com, home of the best music you'll find online, and I mean that. I am your host, Greg Bam Reaves, and welcome. For those of you that can see me on Facebook Live, yes, I'm wearing my Browns gear. This is our Super Bowl. Today is the NFL Draft 2018, and we got the first and the fourth pick. I'm very excited. I should have called in to the Bub and Wax show on Saturday and see what they had to say about it, but you know, life gets in the way sometime. Anyway, I want to give a shout out to it's not label mates. It's not a label. So my station mates. First of all, on Friday nights from 7 to 8, we got Just One Hot Mom with, why do I keep doing this to myself? Nanika. I'm so sorry, Nika, don't kill me. But her show is from 7 to 8 on Fridays. And then on Saturday mornings, we got Donella Allen, I Will Live Until I Die. Saturday afternoons at 4, we got a sports show with Bub and Wax on sports. Sunday mornings, well, not Sunday morning, but Sunday afternoon, we start with Reclaim Our Health with the next state representative, Ivanka Hall and Gerald Solomon. And then on Sundays from 6 to 7, my producer and owner of the station, Robin Hill, with Mind Healing Conversations. And last but not least, on Sundays, my WCW, Today Bumpers with The Queen's Journey. Get you some spiritual enlightenment. So, as always, I want to start out with some positive black news. That's one story I want to talk about, but I won't, because I'm keeping it positive. First, I want to talk about, and I'm just going to read these to y'all. I'm not going to, pretend like I know everything about these. But first, we have Aisha Champs, single mother of 5, graduated magna cum laude from Texas Southern University's Thurgood Marshall School of Law. I do not want to hear no more excuses. I can't do this, I can't do that with these kids. 5 kids. 5. Not only did she graduate law school, but magna cum laude. You hear me? Okay, great news. Spelman College student Deanna Hayden works to raise literacy rates with House of Knowledge Project. In this project, she had found out that in, how do you say it, wealthy communities, I'll put it that way, they had what they call free libraries. People just giving away books. Not a library, you got to go borrow it and bring it back, and if it's late, you owe some money, another bill, before you're even old enough to have bills. They just give away books. And she noticed that a lot of our literacy problems in our communities is lack of books. So she started, what is it called here? I said it already, House of Knowledge Project, where they're going to have a place where you can just go and get books free. No charge, just pick some up. So I think that's great. We'll see how that goes. And speaking of books, a guy named Troy Johnson has been tracking the number of black-owned bookstores in 1999. Well, he started tracking them from 1999, where there were 325 in the United States. By 2014, the number had dwindled to 54. 54. That's a decline of over 270 bookstores closed. But now the number is back up to 108, which a lot of them just opened in the past 6 months. I actually have a friend who had one in this area that got closed down. And I was wondering, why are black bookstores going out of business? Maybe more technology, more people are reading stuff online, or maybe we're just reading junk online. Not real. As a reader, it's something about turning that page. I need to have that physical book in my hand. Yeah, I read online articles, but I can't imagine reading a book online. I'm definitely not one of those, what do you call it? The online books you can hear. Audiobook. There you go. See, I'm getting old and I'm starting to forget simple words. Audiobooks. I do listen to the Bible, audio version of the Bible, but as far as other books, I need to read it. I really feel it when I'm reading it, but teach his own. But when you buy books, you're supporting a black business. So we need to get some more black bookstores open and support some of these independent authors like myself, and my books are available on Amazon.com. That's Life, Love, and Poetry, and also A Night with the Roet, books of poetry. Yeah, a little shout out to myself. So, we have a teenager CEO and entertainer named Amelia Steed, and she founded a business called AMAC by Amelia Footwear. And what it is like tennis shoes, and I saw the picture of the tennis shoes. She might have other footwear besides that, but there's tennis shoes with positive affirmations written on the side. So no matter what mood you're in, you get up in the morning, put on your shoes and something positive on the side like I can, I will, I am. And this girl is, how old is she? I want to say 14. I don't have that down here, but I believe she's 14. And that is like great to me that she even came up with that idea. Like she's already on the thing of staying positive and positive thoughts, bringing about positive results. So shout out to Amelia Steed. Good job, girl. And lastly, well, to me, this is good news. I don't know if it's good news to you or not, but Meek Mill is free. Now, I got to be honest. I'm not a huge Meek Mill fan. I mean, he got one song I really, really like, Tony track. But I don't like follow him. I remember when he was dating Nicki Minaj, but other than that, I don't really know a lot about Meek Mill. I don't really know a lot about his case, but I know people were coming out the woodwork talking about how unfair the sentence was. I know he was sentenced to 3 years for a probation violation, which seems excessive. They also said, though, this is like his fifth violation in 4 years. But whatever, they finally gave him a bond and he's released. And there are a lot of people saying that even a judge admitted that this may not have ever gotten to that point anyway. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, to me, that's good news, positive news. I don't know how you feel about it. But anyway, phone lines are open at 440-252-0518. That's 440-252-0518. I am at the moment waiting on my guest to call in from the ATL, and we're going to get into that a little bit. Are you an Empire or Star fan? Yeah, I'm pausing because I'm waiting for your answer. I watch both. I like a lot of the music on both of the shows. I'm wondering how realistic to the music industry is it? And that's one of the questions I want to ask my guest when we get to her. But I want to know your opinion about Empire Star. First of all, let me say, for those that compare Empire to Power, I don't see any comparison whatsoever. I don't see, like, one is about the music industry, the other one is about a club. Now, they both involve some drugs or a drug pass, but besides that, I don't see any similarities except for their black shows. And one is cable, one is network TV. So, but I know a little bit, just a little bit about the music industry. And I'm just wondering, I want to find out the truth from my guest when she arrives. But yeah, let me know what you think about Power and Empire. I'm sorry, Empire and Star. I told you, I'm getting old. I'm forgetting simple stuff. So while we're waiting on her, okay, prayers out to Camille Cosby. That's all I'm going to say on that. I don't want to get into that subject, but I feel for her with all she's gone through over the years and recently. And that'll be that on that. Right. And I want to read you my poem now because I forgot it last week and I don't know if I'll have time to get to it at the end of the show today. So this is my poem of the week. And yes, it's another one of mine. If you have a poem you like read on the show, submit it to elevationsradio.com. You can send it to my show, the Let's Be Real 63 at yahoo.com. Inbox me on my Facebook page, write a comment, whatever. But if you want a poem read, hit me up, let me know, and I'll read it for you. So this is the one that I had written for last week that I'm going to say today. I don't have a title for it, so I'll just go. Poetry, I say, it's not just wordplay, not just rhymes from the mind or something slick from your lips. It's more than a gift meant to uplift. It's not just use of the dictionary or the source. It's singing lead as well as the chorus. It's not just the beauty or just the ugly truth. It's her with her Boaz, him without Ruth. Poetry, I say, is not just wordplay, not just things to make you think. I think it's more to make you feel. I'm talking about the real. Still, there's no problem with thought. In fact, you ought to think about how you feel, maybe have the will to heal yourself and others caught between the weakness of my father and the strength of my mother, learning to honor sisters and still respect brothers. Poetry is what you need it to be. Live it, breathe it, hear it, see it. Let poetry free. Yeah, I'm giving myself some because that's what I do. Once again, did I mention that my books are available on Amazon.com? Yeah, I think I did. So
While we're waiting,
yes.
Since we got some time, did you want to talk about the Kanye West?
No, I didn't. See, this is what. Can they hear you?
No, probably not.
Okay, I don't know. My producer just asked me while we're waiting, did I want to discuss Kanye West? And my response was no. Well, you heard my response. And the reason I say no is because you all know I don't talk about that dude that's occupying the White House. And right now, I feel like talking about Kanye West is doing the same thing. It's giving, it's shining a light on that dude. And I really have no respect for that dude at all. And now I've lost all respect I had for Kanye. I mean, to be honest, Kanye is the same person who just a few years ago, well, it's been more than a few years now, but he's the one that said George Bush could care less about black people, is basically what he said. Now you got you a woman and had a couple kids, and now you don't care about black people.
You think it's a publicity stunt?
It could be because he's that type of guy. It would make sense because, right now, Jay Kajana Carter, Curtis Enos. You know, Kajana Carter got hurt, and Curtis Enos was a bust pretty much. The best one, I think, was Larry Johnson.
Enos was a thug.
Yeah, that's
He was really, really thugged out. They talked about Maurice Corrett like a dog, but Curtis Enos was thugging out just like that. So
right.
But I mean, you know, as long as they don't trade down. If they trade down, I'm going to sleep.
Right.
If they trade down the last, I don't know how many drafts, and just you know, it's like, why? Why do we trade down? You got these picks.
Well,
but what about last night? The
shot,
the lucky shot from the heavens.
Right. You know what? I got to talk about that. We got to take a quick break because we're at that point in the show. But that was, I don't have any words for that. I mean, this dude is. I used to hate on him. I ain't gonna lie. When he left, I hated him because he was no longer Cavalier. But that was beyond incredible. That was beyond incredible.
It was a shot that, you know, you'll see and watch on TV and highlights for the next 40 years.
I will say this. If we go on, now, if we lose in this round or any round, if we don't make it to the finals, people will forget about that shot, except for us here in Cleveland. Like, we the only ones that remember that he did the same thing against Orlando. But if we go on to the finals, especially if we win, that shot will replace Jordan's against us.
Well, I don't.
The one they called the shot.
They get past this round. You know, with the work they having to put in to get past Indiana, they won't get any further. I think they're gonna lose in the Eastern Conference Finals, actually.
Right.
Because Philadelphia might surprise.
Oh no, they ain't ready yet. They ain't ready. No, not yet.
But they don't know.
Yet. They on their way up.
They don't know the difference.
Yeah.
That's the key with them. They don't know the difference. They not ready, and they got
when they get to the Eastern Conference Finals, they gonna know the difference. That pressure is going. They'll feel it.
Well, if they get to the Eastern Conference Finals, they had a very successful season.
Right.
But if you get that far, it's like, why not?
Yeah, we'll see.
No.
But
hey, wait a minute. Did y'all say anything about Bill Cosby getting
No, we're not talking about that. No, we're not talking about that on this show. No. My show is about positive black news, so we don't do that.
Oh, okay.
But I thank you so much for calling in. We got to take a quick break, and
y'all take a break.
Right.
We'll talk again.
Yes, sir.
On Saturday.
Yes, sir. 4:00. All right. Thank you all. We're going to take a quick break, listen to a couple of songs, and we'll be right back on the Let's Be Real show with Greg Bam Reaves.
I'm Carol Johnson from Burlington, North Carolina, and I listen to Let's Be Real with Greg Bam Reaves Thursdays from 6 to 7 p.m. on Elevations Radio.
There is something that I'm going to try to explain. I'ma need a minute, cause I want you to hear what I'm saying. Now when the beat is tight, it makes you feel so right. Feel so good, it makes your spirit come alive. Baby, 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 you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry, baby. All I'm talking about is feeling something good inside. I feel something's turned the music up now. I feel something good inside. I feel something, music makes me move my feet. I feel something, I just got to feel that funky beat. Check it out, check it out, check it out. Everybody's feeling so good. We got the beat, we got the pump, we got rock and roll, baby. Now this this is what we need to help us feel so free. It's time to take this joy bomb all around into the street. Baby, 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 you don't have to worry. All I'm talking about is feeling something good inside. Let's turn the music up now. I feel, yeah, cause I feel something good inside, yeah. I feel something, this music makes me move my feet. I feel something, I just got to feel that funky. I just got to feel that funky. Take me there, dance with me. This melody sets me free. Let's turn the music up now. I feel, yeah, cause I feel something good inside, yeah. I feel something, this music makes me move my feet. I feel something, I just got to feel that. Wait, man, let me flip this thing up on y'all. Come on, man, let's do it. Yeah, I feel something, I can feel it. Yeah, I feel something, I can feel it in my head, feel it in my feet, feel it all over me. Don't you feel it too, baby? Don't you wanna dance? Come on, dance, get up, get up, get up, get up. I just got to feel that something. I just got to feel that something. I just got to feel that something.
Well, welcome back to Let's Be Real Show with Greg Bam Reaves. The phone lines are open at 440-252-0518. That's 440-252-0518. And I would like you all to welcome my guest who's finally arrived, the CEO of the MVMNT Music Incorporated, Ms. Joy Bounds. Hey, Joy.
Thank you. Hey, it's the movement.
See, I said that earlier. I said it, but I'm gonna read it the way it's spelled. I don't want to, I want to make sure that I gotta. But that's what I figured. So tell us about the movement music.
Well, the movement music is a boutique record label based in Atlanta, Georgia, and we're focused on music and artists that are uplifting, fun, still got slammer beats and all of that, but not detrimental to the community. Not tearing anybody down, not talking about drugs and violence and all that stuff.
That's great. That's what we need. A couple of months ago, I had Lavelle Jones on the show. Do you know him? He's he's also from Cleveland. He's down in ATL and has a record label. And I shouldn't have brought it up because I just forgot the name of his record label. Lavelle, don't kill me. I told you I'm getting old. I'm so forgetful. Anyway, we were talking about that. I had him on the show. We were talking about the state of R&B right now. Like, is R&B dead? So I'm glad to hear that you and others are bringing about real music again to our communities. And what got you into the movement music?
Well, actually, I honestly had no intention of returning to the music business at all. And,
okay.
So I have to credit God that He is the reason. Like 2 weeks prior to me making that step to get back into the music, I had a dream, and detailed dream that I was, managing this artist, and it was like very detailed, and it was a good dream. So when I woke up, I was like, okay, God, if this is what you want, then you're going to have to do it, because I'm not, making any step towards that business. And so, and along the way, I've done like some consulting and stuff like that over the last several years. Friends have been trying to get me back into it. So, no.
Okay.
So then 2 weeks after the dream, I got a text, like I was included on some group text. And it was a friend of mine who works at a label, and he was introducing me to who is now my business partner in the label. His name is Blue Freeman. He's a producer and songwriter. And he was saying that Blue needed a manager for his daughter, Noah Freeman, who's the artist. And I was just like, okay, God, maybe this is you. Right. So I just jumped right in. And when I heard Noah's voice, I was just like, oh, gosh, she's so talented.
Yeah, she is amazing.
Just a good girl.
She really is amazing.
Yeah,
I watched her video on YouTube the other day.
Yeah, she's a good kid, you know. So that's initially what did it. I came in to manage her, and then after about a week later, he was like, well, why don't you come in and partner with me on this label? So I was like, okay.
Right,
so
okay.
we did that, and now, you know, I've just been trying to roll with whatever blessings come my way.
There you go. Okay, before you called in, I told my audience a brief history of how we know each other, and that you are the proud mother of 2 sons by Life Jennings. Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned you had no plans on getting back into the music business. So you want to talk about how you first got into the music business?
Yeah, actually, I at the beginning of that, even I had no intention of getting into the music business.
Right.
But, you know, my brother, he was in prison, Jermaine, and I always call him, when he was there, the prison A&R. Because if it was talent to be found, he discovered it.
Yeah.
And so every time, you know, he ran into somebody talented, he would hit me up. Hey, you know, I want you to help my friend. And my friend's sister, she's in Detroit and she raps and she needs a manager. So I did all of that. Like, I managed this girl he was talking about in Detroit. I, you know, helped whoever he sent my way. And after a few failed attempts, I was like, you know what? I'm done with you.
Right. Yeah.
You know? And I your prison A&R-ing. So
right.
I went back, like I was at the time into television. I wanted to be the Oprah of hip hop. That was my goal.
Okay.
So that's what I was working on, and I was going to school at Cleveland State and putting together like a little local show. I would interview people who came into town. So long story short, my brother told me about this singer who was in prison with him. Mm-hmm. For about a whole year, he told me about this guy who turned out to be Life Jennings, and I kept saying, I don't care, I'm through with it, until finally Life sent me a tape, and this 4-page letter, like detailing this plan that he had for when he got out and all that, and I was like, okay. So I listened to the tape, and probably about by the second song, I promise you, I heard God tell me to help him.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, I turned it off. I went inside, because at that time, you know, tape deck was in your car.
Right, right.
So I went inside, I wrote him back and told him, you know, I'll help you any way that I can. And I started the ball rolling, and I managed him for about 7 years, from prison to 7 years later, like 3 albums later.
Yeah. And I'm very open to let my audience know that I also was in prison, which I met your brother, who is like a brother to me also. Love him to life.
Yeah.
And I've met Life. I'm not going to sit here and say I knew him, but I know he was treated like he was already a star when we were there. I mean, they really, like, he basically had a studio in prison, pretty much.
Yeah.
But so, and I didn't think he was that good. So I couldn't be a manager because I don't know talent. But yeah,
you know, in that environment, there is a lot of talent. You know what I mean? Like,
it is.
Everybody that my brother introduced me to, including you, because you were writing poetry and you were writing the book.
Yep.
And we went on, you and I, to write together.
Yeah, I told a little bit about that story too. Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody, you know, he introduced me to were very talented artists. You know, I would get the mail, and there would be this beautiful art all over the envelope.
Right,
yeah.
So, I told them we wrote Empire and Power before they came out. Our
really
screenplay, yeah. But let me ask you this real quick. Somebody's interested in being a manager. How do they go about that? I mean, what do you actually do? Because you said at the beginning, I mean, you had no intention of doing this, and he's sending you these people. Like, what steps did you make to manage them?
Well, I'll say management for me was like a natural niche. I had a lot of jobs before going into management, talent management. Retail prepared me. I started a babysitting club when I was 12 and ran that. That prepared me. I worked telemarketing. So
a babysitting club at 12.
Yeah. All of those things prepared me, for management, because what management boils down to is you're a consultant and artist. You have to have some type of vision for where you want them to go, because you have to be able to kind of form their career,
right,
and then be able to envision where they should be and then decide how to take those steps to get there.
Okay.
And so once you reach a certain point, your job is you're managing a bunch of other moving parts, an attorney, an agent, fans.
Right.
Like, there's just a bunch of the label, if they're signed, there's a bunch of moving parts that you end up managing, but you have to keep your vision and your goal for that artist in mind. And what I liken it to is babysitting.
Right. Hey, so
that's why I say.
Also, you learned from 12 years old to be a manager.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's sad to say that it is a lot like that. Because even though you're dealing with an adult most of the time,
right,
creative people are different.
I know.
They are just
I know.
different. We'll just say that.
Okay.
So, that's the gist of it. But how to start, getting back to the meat of your question, is how to start.
Right.
So if you're a manager or you want to be a manager, I'm assuming that you already have talent or artists that you are, you wanted to help them go further.
Right.
So the first step is the music. Everything starts and stops there. If they don't have it, then there's nothing you can do about it. If they just don't have it, you have to have an artist who is passionate about their art, who wants to create, who is creating, who's giving you something, because you have to have that product to sell, to work with, to promote, to market. So that's number one. So if you have an artist who's creating and you have that product to market, that's where you do. That's what you do. Social media, open mics. I recommend starting where you are, whatever city you are, whatever state you're in. Start there and spread out into the region. Now, and that's a lot of cold calling. You cannot be afraid of no's, of hang-ups. Of that in the beginning.
So it goes back to your sales experience.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And a lot of, I would steal people's email addresses and all kind of stuff. For real. I started my own database off of other people's databases, because back in that day, people would send you a mass email and you would see all the other emails.
Right.
And I would copy and paste.
That's smart.
You have to be creative.
That's right. Phone lines are open.
So I started that.
Phone lines are open at 440-252-0518. That's 440-252-0518. Now, I mentioned in my advertisement for the show that I was going to ask you about Empire and Star. Do you watch those shows at all?
I don't anymore. Every now and then I catch Star, and I do like that show. It's just I don't watch TV that much.
Right. I kind of figured that.
Yeah, Empire, I used to really like it when it first came on. And then one episode pissed me off, excuse my language.
Yep.
And because it just wasn't real. It was the episode where I can't remember her name, but it's the young lady with the short haircut, light skin. She was the A&R for Empire Records.
Anika.
She drugged her artist, like to sabotage her.
Right.
And I was just like, yeah, right. Like, I know a lot of A&Rs and managers who don't like their clients, but you are not going to mess up your money.
And this is why I brought this up, because I wanted to ask you, like, how realistic are these shows? Because they show a lot of supposedly, behind the scenes of the music industry. And I just wanted to see like how realistic are these shows. So I'm glad you said that about, that's something I would have never thought of. I mean, even though that's one of the storylines in Empire right now, when an artist is being drugged by, well, he's not A&R. I don't know what Eddie is, but whatever his position is, he's trying to sabotage one of the artists. But he's doing it to get at Lucius. I'm sitting here like, I'm a soap opera expert here.
It's a soap opera,
right?
I don't.
I think the only reason I like it is because it reminds me when I was growing up, Dallas was really popular, and this is like a black Dallas. Just instead of oil, it's music. But everybody on the show is wicked in one way or another. But yeah, I was just curious as to like how realistic were some of the storylines as far as the music industry, not the other crap.
Yeah, and I don't knock it. Like, I love that it's on the air and that it's been on this long and doing this thing, but it's just little things like that I don't, I can't watch it. But Star, from the episodes that I have caught, I really liked it, and I didn't find anything that irked me that bad,
I found a lot, I really liked but I watch it anyway because I love some of the music on those shows. But yeah, as a writer, it's some of that I hate. I absolutely hate as a writer, but I watch it. I think the girls are very, very attractive and talented, and but yeah, it's hard not to be critical when you're a writer. When you watch other people's writing, like, man, it wouldn't have went down like that. But anyway, I wanted to. We don't have that much time left, but I wanted to ask you this: can we talk about? Okay, I talked a little bit about what our show that we were writing was about, the lives of women of hip hop stars. And I know you had a real life kind of situation. Is it okay to talk about that? Sure. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about with the ladies. With
sure.
Toya, Tiny, and Christine. Is it Christine? Yeah.
Yeah, so, Christine was in there at first, and then Candy took her place.
Right. So I'll let you tell your version. I don't want to mess it up.
Well, let me start off by saying it's something that's definitely in the past.
Right.
And, since this happened, Tanya and I definitely have gotten past it. Candy and I never had a problem, so we're good. Yeah. Toya and I, it's still like the elephant in the room. When we're around each other, it was never really addressed properly in my eyes, so I can't, really like.
In Atlanta, you can't like really avoid each other, right? I mean, like so much. Y'all are all like at the same spots. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Well, I guess it would seem that way, but I don't hang out like that.
Right.
I go to where I have to be, and I don't really go out like I used to. So we haven't run into each other in a long time. But when she had her baby, I did text her congratulations. She has since, texted me a few times, but it's still, our friendship would never be the same, unfortunately.
Right, yeah.
So basically, what happened is we were friends, and I had this idea for a while for a reality show, which was pre-Housewives and all that.
Right.
And it was a reality show about, 4 friends who were connected to the music business. So I was managing Life at the time. Toya and Wayne were divorced, but they still had, their daughter, of course.
Right.
And she was trying to reestablish herself and figure out her way. Tiny, of course, it was before her and Tip got married, but they were still, together, of course. And then first it was Christine, who's an attorney and a TV host, and she has a daughter with Ludacris.
Right.
And so, yeah, we were rolling. We started doing some taping as far as on our own. We formed a company together, an entertainment company. We had a really good plan. We did a photo shoot. Like, we were going. And we ended up getting a couple of deals on the table.
Okay.
And one of the deals was from BET. And how can I say? I'll just say it. I did not like the producer.
Okay.
I didn't care for his tactics, if you will.
Yeah. Okay.
And so that became a conflict between Toya and I, because they had a friend in common, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
And so our other deal was from MTV, and business-wise, it was a much better deal.
Okay.
And it's MTV. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Like, it would have been a chance to broaden the audience for Tiny, because at the time she was looking to release fragrance. And I didn't care where it went, because nobody knew who I was. Nobody knew who Toya was. So we would have.
Was Escape still together at that point?
No, they weren't even talking about getting back together or anything. Candy and Tiny had done, and they recorded a song for Candy's solo album, but and they were great friends. But yeah, no Escape reunion at the time. And so the short story is, Toya ended up signing to the BET guy anyway.
Okay.
And so, yeah, so that kind of, we had to try to find another person, and in between that time, I got a call from Tiny, and she was like, oh, yeah, they want me to sign too, and I think I'm going to, I'm not sure, whatever. And so she ended up signing, and they did the Tiny and Toya
show. Right. I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Which was fine, which would have been fine. It was just, when you're friends and you're doing business, like, you expect a certain amount of respect, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And it was I felt like it was very behind my back and disrespectful. And, I can't really fault Tiny, because she did call and at least talk to me about it.
Right.
Yeah. And then in the end, she decided, well, if I don't do it, then it's going to be a certain kind of thing. But, yeah.
Okay.
So that's the gist of it.
Thank you for sharing that story with us. Get a little clarity on the situation. Now, I've been seeing you on YouTube.
The moral,
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say the moral of the story is contracts always. Like, I don't care if they are your friends. You know what I mean? Like, if you're doing business together, you want to have something in writing.
Exactly. I was supposed to DJ a birthday party this weekend. I found out today that they found somebody else. And this is Thursday. And I wonder, like, if I hadn't a text, would I have even known? But anyway, yeah, you're exactly right on that. Now, I've seen you recently on YouTube with another young lady. I don't know who she is. And what is that about? What are you all doing?
That's my best friend, Hope. And we
Joy and Hope. That's
together.
just great.
Joy and Hope.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, we started hosting together. We did a couple of shows, and we put together a reel. And just life gets in the way. She has kids, I have kids, we have, other businesses and things like that. So we just haven't filmed in a while, but we're still talking about doing some more things together.
And just, I still have the beginning of I was trying to write a sitcom about joy. It was called Joy to the World. And I started it. I still have that initial stuff that I wrote.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. So now, before we go, tell us about the movement music. Like, who are your artists? Give us some contact info, all that good stuff.
Okay. Well, we have a website, themovementmusic.com, and it is no vowels in the word movement.
Right.
So that's why you were like MVMNT. Yeah. So the vowels have been removed. And the first act that we're releasing is a girl group called Cascade Road. Okay. And they're teenage girls. Noah is in the group. And they're like trappy soul, I guess. They write their own stuff and they dance. They're really talented, great group of girls.
Okay.
And then second will be Noah Freeman. She's going to be like our first spinoff solo act from the group. And then we just signed a rapper and an R&B male.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So,
now, do you manage writers?
I haven't.
I need a manager.
Since you and I
know. I need a manager. Hook me. I finally got Final Draft. Remember that was a big issue back then.
You don't need a manager. You don't. And that's another misconception, is that a lot of people think they need a manager. What you need is an agent.
Right. And there is a difference. Could you got a minute? You can tell us real quick the difference between a manager and an agent?
Yeah. Sure. Agent is the person who's going to be out there looking for the placements for your writing. And more likely than not, they'll already have those relationships built in with networks and movie houses, production houses, and all of that to know what people are looking for. They know like the different seasons for pitching, because it's not always pitching season.
Right.
There's pilot season. There's all kinds of things. So yeah, that's pretty much the difference. The agent focuses on just that one thing, getting you some placements, and they take a certain percentage off of that. Right. A manager is pretty much 360.
Yeah. So a manager and an agent kind of clash with each other sometimes, don't they?
Well, they work together. They should. Yeah. I've always worked well with agents.
That's the writer in me. I'm trying to. No, that's the writer in me. I'm trying to create controversy when it.
I mean, I guess personalities can clash, but they shouldn't. You know, They should work well together because they feed each other.
Right. That's true. Nope. I thank you so much for joining me today. We're out of time. Well, I'm gonna have to have you back. We need a full hour because I got so much more I want to talk to you about.
I appreciate you so much for having me, and I'm so sorry I was late. A few things happened, and I had to take care of it, so I apologize.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Only thing that made me mad, I had to talk about Kanye for a minute. I really didn't want to talk about Kanye. You know, I had to fill in some stuff, and now I found out Chance the Rapper was backing him. Whatever. We'll talk about that next Thursday.
Oh no!
Thank
I
you
wish
so
I was
much.
there for that. 'Cause I love Kanye.
Yeah. Oh, do you? I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
he just needs a lot of prayer. Let's just pray.
That's right. You're right. You're exactly right. And this is elevationsradio.com, where we do try to elevate, and I pray for people. So anyway, thank you again so much, Joy, for joining me. And I'll be talking to you soon. All right.
Okay. All right. Oh, I forgot my IG at Bounds. KNOWJOYBOUNDS. And Noah is at Noah's Voice, NOAS.voice. That's on Instagram.
All right. And you can watch this show on YouTube later on tonight. I'll have it up. And you can go to the Facebook, the Elevations Radio Facebook page, and watch it there also. So there you go. All right. We got to go. Thank you so much, Joy.
All right. Peace.
And I want to thank you all for tuning in this evening. And like I always say, develop your hunger for knowledge and feed it. Pick up a book and read it. Set a goal and see it through. And always, always believe in you. Peace and love, fam.
she make me fall in love so quickly? I thought she was an angel. I thought she'd heal my pain. I thought she felt the same too. But she was due to get married to some other man while I'm over here looking like damn, I don't